We're here for this, but we'll get to this in a minute. Special. Hello and Happy New Year. I'm assuming it's going to be New Year because right now it's New Year's Eve as I'm recording this, so I'm sure everybody's out having a lovely time. I'm here in my workshop still, playing with my stuff. I'm playing with my new toy, which is my new 3D printer, which is whirring away in the corner there, making an awful racket. It's meant to be a very silent and quiet new 3D printer. Did I say computer? But it is still quite noisy, and I'm hoping it's not going to be too noisy on the microphone, but if it is, I'll try and do some audio editing wizardry in DaVinci Resolve and see if I can lower that down a little bit. What we're here for is I've had a few things that have come in, and I'm going to try to get back on onto this with donations that come in and making videos about them. Second channel is where all of the donation videos will be. I'll try not to flood the channel with those. I might just like collect them up, if you like, into bigger episodes so that I'm not releasing smaller episodes all the time. So I've had some great stuff come in, and it's my birthday today, and this is one of the presents that I got, which is a I've not got it on autofocus. Let's do it on this one. Eee, look, I got a new mug. This is from my wife, from Retro Tech, a quality mug, dishwasher safe and microwave proof. But I don't really drink hot drinks, although I do drink Lemsip quite a lot lately because I've been a little bit poorly over Christmas. You might be able to hear it in my throat. So I've got a tasty beverage in here. Tasty beverage. So I got something. This was an early birthday present from Jonathan. He said it was a Christmas birthday present, and it's this. Now I've got a compressor under here, but with the compressor you have to keep it charged up, and I don't like leaving it plugged in. And another thing with them is it's a big metal container, pressurized container. It's quite a big compressor. The tank is about so big, and it's a good tool. It's a really good tool, and I do like using it. It's very powerful, and it's got lots of different uses as well. But if I just want to blow some dust off of something, and I've then got to charge my compressor up, because the tank, if you leave it charged up, compressed, pressurized, there's the word. If you leave it pressurized for long periods of time, condensation builds up inside the tank and rusts its way out, which is not ideal. So I don't like to leave it pressurized all the time, and you have to occasionally bleed the moisture out of the bottom of it. But that's great. It does work, and it's brilliant for those really gnarly, dusty jobs. It will get dust out of everything, or cleaning down the workbench and the workshop. But this, I can just pick this up, switch it on, and oh, here we go. I don't really need to be blowing any of this off at this stage in my life. It's really good. Thank you, Jonathan. This was off of my Amazon wish list. It came with a bunch of cleaning brushes, and there's some really good ones in there. That white one there is like a stiff brushed one, so that'll be really useful. And some of these will be going to be great for getting into different things. There's some softer ones there. It's basically a cleaning kit. So that was from Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan. That's a brilliant gift. I got this. This is from Jim from Happy Little Diodes, and he's made this. This is to go. Well, it's going to be a future diagnostic tool for me to use. I can't. He did tell me what this was for. Oh, I think that's to put on the back there when you're pushing that into the back of a ZX Spectrum. So that you don't stab yourself on these. I might 3D print something to go on. I might 3D print a case for it, because I've got a new 3D printer, you know. It's by the way, that's a Bamboo A1. I think, is it an A1S? It's the single color one. A lot of people get the multicolor kit that comes with it, that can come with it. But I don't see a need to be printing multiple colors, so I just went for the single color one. And it's fantastic. One of the things I printed is this, a new leg straightener. in PETG, so it's nice and strong. That bit comes out of the middle, so make it an easier print. And it's just amazing. It's so much better than the one I had before. So yeah, anyway, 3D print is fantastic. So I might 3D print a case for this, but this, well, this is a really clever little thing. Jim's been working on a logic analyzer project, and I don't know very much about the logic analyzer itself yet, but I've watched all the videos, and he's found a way. It's a Pico based logic analyzer, and so it's super cheap to make, and it's with a Pico in it. I just absolutely love anything with a Pico in it, so I'm going to make one of those for myself. But Jim's come up with this board. This is his own design, so it actually says on here, Happy Little Diode ZX Spectrum Logic Analyzer Interface version 2. It's got a reset button there, and we've got some pin headers here, and there's another set there. I'm not sure if they're all the same. So these are all, oh, these are the address lines from A4 up to A15 and A0 to 3 on this side. These ones not connected, not connected, not connected. But on this side, this is all the data lines, and they're the write and read and M1 and interrupt and ground. What you do with this is you connect your, normally if you're using a logic analyzer, you connect fly leads to each pin of the chips that you want to monitor the signals from. But because it's all exposed on the Edge connector on the ZX Spectrum, Jim's designed this to plug into the ZX Spectrum, and then you just plug your DuPont connectors into these, connect them to your logic analyzer. You could probably actually just have a single block that connects to both of these. You wouldn't have to, you know, if you knew which ones were going to be there, connected to what, and fire up the logic analyzer, and you can see exactly what's going on inside your ZX Spectrum. I've got a lot to learn and a few things to build. Thank you, Jim. That's amazing. I really appreciate that. Next on my shopping list is the actual logic analyzer itself. Well, let's do the Amazon disc. These two here are from John Jones, and I don't know if John's on my Discord, because sometimes, you know, this is probably John's meet name, and he might have a different name on Discord. So I'm not sure who John Jones is on my Discord. If you're on my Discord, join my Discord. If you're not, it's a brilliant place. And there's news coming up about Discord soon as well. So, but I won't go into that just yet. So he sent me this Ute bit. Yeah, this is a quick release clamp, and I've got these everywhere. So I put that on an arm. This one's got actually a pivot head on it, but I put these on here. This is a different type of one, but it's compatible with this type of plate as well, and that just allows me to pop cameras off, or things like my microscope is on one, and you can see that microscope is on one. There's one just tucked under there somewhere. I've got another one for a little screen here. There's that camera's on one. This camera here is on one. I've got my lights fixed, but I would like them also to be on these. So I've got another one of these over there, and so I'll put these two lights that shine down this way onto the bench. You can see one of them there, and so that I can move them. I want to be able to have different positions around, so I can just pop them off and put them, because sometimes the lights are, you know, if I change the camera angle, or if I have the camera over here somewhere pointing onto my work surface, that light actually reflects on it. So I'd like to be able to pop that out and maybe move it back over this side or above. So lots of things like that. But these, they're not very expensive, but if you need to buy 10 of them, then it's 10 times as much. So thank you, John. That's a lovely gift. They are super handy. They're always on my wish list. He also got me these. I added these recently to my list because I was doing some work with a Gotek, and I fried the screen on it. and and I added a bunch of these screens. These are these 128 by 32 or 64 OLED screens for use with things like Gotex and Arduinos. And I think there's 5 of them in there, might even be more. Thank you, John. They, again, super handy. It's nice to have things like this ready to go in a component drawer over there, so that I don't have to go and order something. Having these around is really good. Right, the last thing before the big package is this. So Lee Smith sent me, or gave me, I was there, so he didn't send it. Lee Smith gave me an Atari 800 XL that featured in his Acid Atari series, and it was gifted to him by Johnny Blanchard of Re-Enthused. And I mean, such a generous thing. Johnny just gave it to him, and I've met John now. He's a lovely guy. I managed to shake his hand at Retrofest in Cambridge, so it was really nice to finally meet him. And yeah, he gave Lee an Atari 800 XL to help him with the repairs of the Acid Atari, and the only thing that was wrong with that was the keyboard. Apparently, the ribbon cable had broken on it. I think I've got that here somewhere. Where is it? I've literally been, oh, there it is. There we go. This is the ribbon cable from that Atari 800 XL, and this end of it is meant to plug into the keyboard connector on the motherboard, and some of the fingers have peeled back and it's just not viable. So I changed it for a ribbon cable, a bit like this, DuPont style cable. I put DuPont header into the motherboard and crimped a load of DuPont crimps onto that cable, and yeah, that's worked really well. Unfortunately, the 800 XL itself is not working, and Lee swears it was working when it left, but now that it's here, it's not working. And it turns out, because I've gone through and I've swapped chips with an XEGS that's working, long story, I won't go into that, and I didn't think this was going to make any video because it was just a simple ribbon cable replacement in an 800 XL keyboard. So I didn't record anything, and it turned into a big old marathon just before Christmas. I did quite a lot of work on it, just swapping chips and trying to track down faults and things. And yeah, there were a few things that I found that were wrong with it, and it turns out that the Pokey chip, is it the Pokey I'm talking about? I might be getting that wrong. Yeah, I'm sure it's the Pokey chip, the audio chip in a 800 XL. Well, this Ball Blazer cartridge has a Pokey in it. They shipped with a Pokey, and it's a really good way, and not too expensive way, to get hold of a replacement chip, because they obviously don't make them anymore. I think there is an FPGA replacement for it. There might have been a project a couple of years ago, but it's super expensive. It's super expensive, and we're talking like about £100 just to replace one chip. So I asked if anybody had a chip that they were willing to sell, and I put the shout out on BlueSky, and lovely Jamie on BlueSky, who is Graphias79, so graphias79.bsky.social, said, yep, got one, I'll send it to you for the cost of postage. And that's all the way from the US. And Jamie then reported in that he'd sent it off, but decided that because it was Christmas, he wasn't going to charge me for the postage, which was just a lovely thing to do, and put a big old smile on my face. And it turned up not very many days ago. I haven't opened it up yet. I really don't want to, but I'm going to have to. So I'll have to heat up the label to take that off and try to keep it intact, just in case another Pokey comes along, and I'll restore this back to its former glory. I would like to try and play this, but my 7800 is a basket case. It's full of rust inside, so that's the only 7800 I've got, and I don't have access to one of the fancy new emulation ones. But yeah, that would be quite nice to at least play it before I destroy it. But maybe I'll restore the 7800 first. We'll see. But that will be a video at some point in the future. So yeah, thank you, Jamie. I really, really appreciate that. That was so generous. And to get it all the way from America was such a good effort. Thank you. Right, the big one. This is from Richard. And Richard contacted me on Discord. He joined the Discord, and we had a nice chat. And he said that he's got a machine here, spare basically, and would I like it? Now, I am getting to the stage where it's getting easy to say no thank you, or easier to say no thank you, because I have got quite a lot of machines now. I am running out of space, despite my new shelves and things behind me. There's a whole other set of shelves up there. I've got a Commodore side. I might take a picture. Commodore side and a Sinclair side with some others mixed in as well. And there's a new QL up there from Glenn. I've still got to find a place for the QL that's underneath here from Stephen Usher. But yeah, the Commodore side is over there. I have got another wall over there that I can put some shelves on. So I do still have a little bit of room. But unless a machine is super special now, I can't take it. You know, I'd love to have and own every ZX Spectrum in the world, because I find it very difficult to say no to people. But I've got loads of them, and I'm going to have to start giving some of them away soon. And this wasn't even on my radar. I didn't think I was going to be able to get one of these. Oh, look at that. It's an Acorn Atom with a manual. Oh, what a manual as well. There's so much in there. Oh, I do love these starter manuals. Oh, it's an errata. So that's fine. Oh, there's some mistakes in the programming. So some mistakes on page 47. Let's have a look at page 47. Page 47. What did they get wrong? On 30, it should be n equals 20 and then go sub s. So for n equals 1 to 20, input j, AA brackets n equals j, next n equals 20 go to, oh, so is that an if? That's the way they do if. So it's basically if n equals 20, then go sub s. Is there an if? No, there's an if here. So why do you just equal n to 20? Oh well, I'll have to type it in and find out. But look! Oh my god, it's upside down. The motherboard is on this side. I've never even looked at these machines. So this is the pre-BBC machine from Acorn. This is the one before the BBC. Not a bad keyboard. And we're talking 1970s, late 1970s, but still 1970s, before the ZX Spectrum became a thing. This is before the ZX80 became a thing. Look at these chunky screws. I've hung shelves with smaller screws than that. So does the bottom just... Yeah. The bottom just... Oh, look at that. The keyboard is integrated. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's amazing. Look at it. So the case just completely comes away. Oh, the keyboard, the speaker's just loose there. Does that? I think that just sits in there. So I might need to fix that down. Right, so the keyboard is just soldered. Oh no, it's screwed, but it's also soldered. We've got a few well, a few of these chips are socketed. Sorry, all of the chips are socketed. Every single chip on this board is in a socket. Wow! What on earth? So these are date coded. That says 8201. I wonder if that's a later chip, or this is just a later revision. See if I can see some more date codes here. Let's get some goggles on. My voice is starting to go, so I might have to cut this a bit short. 81 on these RAM chips. These are 2114Ns. So these are 2114s are the same as the color RAM in a C64 or a ZX80's memory. Yeah, so that's not going to be a whole lot of memory. I don't know, I couldn't tell you how to work out how much it is. So some of them are dated in the 80s, 81, 81, 81, 81. These ones on the outside. These ones look like they are earlier. That's 79, and those 79. So these 74 logic chips are from 1979. 81, so it's a later one, I'm going to assume, unless all of these chips have been changed. 82, and the processor, 6502 processor. Good old trusty 6502. More memory over this side. This is all memory over here as well. 2114s from 1980. 81. Yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 12 there, and there's 12 over here as well. Nice. And that, what's that? 6847 Motorola chip there. Wow, it's just, oh, it's a lovely thing. I'm really impressed. This is a machine from the era when they were just working out how computers were going to work and in the home. You can see how they were heading towards microcomputers. I mean, it's a beautifully wedge design, but weirdly, the wedge is on the back, not on the front. The front is where the keyboard is the high side. This is where the keyboard should be. Acorn, what are you playing at? Brilliant. Thank you so much, Richard. I am in love with it. I wonder what IC24 and IC2, 3 and 4 are supposed to be. So I'm not turning this on now because I think that might be foolish and dangerous. And I've got no way of getting a video out of it anyway and captured. It's basically a project box with a keyboard and computer in it. But with some fancier lines along there. I've got quite a few Acorn machines now, and I've only shown one of them. I've got a couple of Acorn Electrons, one with Chris Mogwai's amazing ULA replacement inside. I've got a BBC B that's not been shown on the channel yet. It's not even been turned on. Obviously needs its power supply de-reefered. And I've got a BBC Master that's in excellent condition that I bought recently from Fuzzy Lee. But he's actually looking after it for me. I've bought it off him, but he's probably going to start charging me rent for it. But he's keeping it there until I've got somewhere to put it and time to actually appreciate it. I think it's propping up stuff in his cupboard. And now I've gone all the way back to the start, and I've got the Acorn. Okay, so I've just looked it up, and it was not 70s. It's 1980 to 1982. I just thought it was earlier than that, but it was still, God, so this was at the same time as the ZX80. And if you had a choice, what a thing this would feel like using over a ZX80. That's that keyboard and completely simple machine. So I just want to read you what Richard told me about this machine. He said the history of this machine is what was bought on eBay earlier this year after repairing and selling one that he had during lockdown. After which I had the option of picking up an Atom, which was nearly new condition with the original plastics covering still on the keyboard surface and back plates, which I'm happy with and don't need too. My first computer was a ZX81, same as me, which my father bought it for me for doing well in my first year at high school. It was ordered before they were available and took Sir Clive's 28 days or 10 weeks to arrive. As I read more about computers, I always thought that the Acorn Atom was a great machine, along with the Microtan 65, and I like the style of the ZX80, which I still think is a beautiful machine. It is a beautiful machine. It's very fragile. However, despite my father's generous purchase for me, all future purchases were pocket money and Christmases and birthday money. My next machine was an Auric. Oh, so you went from a ZX80 to an Auric 1. That is a bold move. I almost did exactly the same thing. Research after, you know, when at that period when the ZX Spectrum was on the horizon, people were talking about this next machine, and everybody was searching around for what the next thing was going to be. And then the Auric 1 was also going to be the next big machine. We didn't know which one was going to win. And I did my research, I looked into it, and I really was I was drawn to the Auric 1's keyboard. That chiclet white hard plastic keys, the rubberiness of the ZX Spectrum was putting me off a little bit, and it was only peer pressure that turned me off of the Auric 1 in the end, because I wanted to make sure that I could swap games with my best friend Jason and Marcus. That turned me away and made me buy, or forced my parents to buy me for Christmas, a ZX Spectrum. So yeah, the Auric was a very close call for me, and I know there's a few people that went down that road, and they appreciated their machines just as much as we appreciated ours. We just had more free games. Yeah, so my next machine was an Auric, which was a great little machine, but had few games, unlike the Spectrum's offerings. Oh, you had Scuba Dive. I like the Atom. It has the charm of the first UK home machines and is easy to work on. I view the Spectrum, etc. as more of a second step building on the past with less risk. Anyway, I hope you have a lot of fun out of this machine. All the best and have a great new year, Richard. Thank you, Richard. This will enter my collection and will never leave. I can't thank you enough. I will find a spot for it somewhere in this room to be treasured, and I'll use it. I think he said that it's got a keyboard problem, and yeah, taking old keyboards apart is not my favourite thing to do. So thanks for that. But yeah, I'm sure we can make it work again. Brilliant. Anyway, right. So happy New Year, everybody. I probably mentioned in the last video, changes are afoot. Not just on Discord, on my channel as well. There will be less releases, but they will be bigger releases. Hopefully, more substantial videos. Longer in length and girth. I just want something to get my teeth into, right. This is not. I wasn't planning to talk about this, but the way that I had been making videos, especially during the charity event, was to get them out as quick as possible. I was doing a video a week during that charity event, and that was backbreaking. That was really hard. And although I'm proud of the videos, and I think I did a reasonably good job on them, I always came away from them thinking, wanted to do a bit more with that. There was a lot more that I could have put into that. There's a lot more substance, maybe not the right word, but a lot more finessing. Again, probably not the right word, but I can work on a video for too long, and or I can work on it not long enough. I need to be where I'm going to be happy is to work on it what I consider is the right amount, and I wasn't putting as much effort. Not effort. There's loads of effort. I wasn't putting as much time as I would like into each of those videos. So that's going to change. So there will be less videos, but I'll be working on them for longer and making sure that they are as good as they can be. I won't be all perfectionist and never release. That's not how I'm made, so don't worry about that. But I'm hoping that that will. I'm hoping that will be more entertaining to watch. I can do repair videos as well, but they're going to be on this channel, on the second channel. So there will still be repairs there. I mean, there might be repairs on the main channel as well if they're a part of a bigger picture story. But everything on there is going to be more thoughtfully put together. I hope that makes sense. And I hope for this whole video you've been able to hear me, because my printer's still going like crazy over there. So anyway, Happy New Year. I look forward to seeing you all in the new year and seeing what 2025 brings us. I'm very excited because there are great things afoot, and not just on my channel, on other people's channels as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing things like Reese, what are you up to? What are you doing? Yeah, Reese is, he could get big this year. I think Reese is, well, I think we're going to see peak Reese. Yeah, peak Reese. Bye.